Good morning, Justin Botillier, partner of Calyx CPAs. It's cold in my office this morning, but I wanted to get this video out to you as soon as possible. I send this video out every year about 1099s because it's part of being in compliance, and every business needs to look through their vendors and look at whether or not they have paid people $600 or more in personal services. And if that you have, then you need to issue traditionally what was a 1099, but now they have a new form, 1099 NEC, or non-employee compensation, which is what most 1099s are issued for, but now they've made it their own form, which seems smart to me because it was getting mixed up with, there was a lot of error because there's like 10, 12 boxes and 99% of them were just reported on what was called box 7 for non-employee compensation, but yet so many were the boxes were filled out in 1 through 12 and not box 7. So they've taken that out, and now they've created this form called the 1099 NEC. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and talk to you a little bit about these different forms now. So originally it was 1099 miscellaneous, and now it's this form, 1099 NEC, and this is for vendors or providers that you've paid for personal services, meaning they personally served you, not they provided you a personal service, but in your business they were cleaning or doing landscaping, or maybe if you're a contractor, you were subcontracting out work, like you had somebody come in and do drywall or electricity or bookkeeping or accounting, or maybe they were a sales staff, maybe they were trimming or processing for you. They would likely need to have what's called the 1099 NEC, non-employee compensation. And so that's very straightforward. I mean, that is pretty much the rule. There's not a lot of wiggle room around it. If you know that they are a corporation, a C corporation or S corporation, I mean, it's not a bad idea to collect the information that you need in order to do a 1099. If you're on the fence, it's better to do the 1099 than to not issue the 1099. So what you do is you get a W-9. So for more experienced people, they will have gotten in the habit of just sending out these W-9s, getting these W-9s from anybody you know you're going to pay before you even pay them. So I know some companies will, as soon as they create a vendor relationship, they send out a W-9, they get this information, then they issue payments based on the information. So if you have not already, you want to go through your bookkeeping, you want to go through your ledgers, you want to look to see who you may have paid over $600. And that would include me, even though I am an LLC being taxed as an S corporation. I would not need to get a 1099, but you don't know that. So for people like me, you'd want to send me a W-9. I send you it back. And again, anybody who has provided a personal service for you that you've paid over $600, you would send them W-9 and they would fill it out. And then if they checked this individual sole proprietor box or the partnership box, they would get a 1099. If they checked C Corp or S Corp, they would not get a 1099. Or if they checked this limited liability company and then they said they're a partnership, then they would get 1099s. But if they put a C or an S in there, they would not get a 1099. Then of course their Social Security employer identification number would be there as well. So the form, again, form 1099 NEC is simple. It's for non-employee compensation. That's what you're traditionally going to issue. But 1099 miscellaneous still is applicable, but it's for, again, it's for very, like all the rest of the potential reasons to send somebody a 1099. So rent, that's often a missed one because a lot of people don't know they have to do it. A lot of landlords don't know they have to receive them. But if you are paying rent to somebody for your business, you actually have to issue a 1099 miscellaneous. So you would get a W-9, then you would complete a 1099 MISC miscellaneous, not 1099 NEC, but now 1099 miscellaneous, which is the way it always has been. In box 1, you would put the rent that you paid them and get them that. There's other things that don't apply to a lot of people, like prizes and awards. I don't know why you would give somebody that. I mean, certainly sweepstakes and I mean, I don't know. I can't think of anything. Fishing boat proceeds, medical and healthcare payments. So if you're a business, this would be coming from insurances to healthcare providers. Crop insurance would come from the insurance companies to farms. Payments to attorneys. Okay, so if you have an attorney, then you give them a W-9 and you report their gross payments to on the 1099 NEC non-employee compensation for the personal services that they have provided for you. This is something different. This is like, I think this has to do with their trust accounts and maybe government payments and those kinds of things, but this box 10 would not apply to you. Again, really the only things that are applicable for you is if you're issuing a 1099 to your landlord, you would put the information in box 1. Otherwise, for all other personal services, you would file a non-employee compensation form for anybody who you have paid over $600 for personal services. So the company that I recommend that you use, you can use QuickBooks Online. I'm not exactly sure if they have streamlined the Oregon filing process. The Oregon filing process is a little bit more difficult, but Track 1099, this website Track 1099 is the one that I recommend that you use. It's very affordable. It's inexpensive to issue 1099s. They electronically file. They will mail out 1099s, so you don't have to do that handwork, and they file all the correct information. And so that's why I would recommend using Track 1099. And this is all due before January, so you got to get those W-9s out. You got to start collecting that information as soon as possible, and then you use Track 1099 to actually file the return. So you got to get the W-9s back that have their information on it, and you got to know how much you paid them, and then you can go to this website Track 1099, and then you file the actual forms there. And then you also, from there, it should give you directions, but if it doesn't, Oregon requires the same reporting to what's called iWire. And this is an Oregon electronic filing requirements for W-2s and 1099s. This is Oregon's electronic filing apparatus that you would use in order to also input the data from the W-9s into there. But if you get going with Track 1099, I believe there's an export process that will make this part of the process easier. So that's it. If you have additional questions, please feel free to give my office a call. And if you, or email my office, and we will help you with it, but we don't necessarily do 1099s unless contracted to do so for you. But most of the Calyx clients, are responsible for doing it themselves. But again, we're happy to help answer any questions. But if you need additional help, go to those, just look up Form 1099 NEC instructions or Form 1099 NEC, and there's a lot of information there as to whether or not you need to require or not require. To me, it's very straightforward. And so again, if you need help, feel free to give my office a call. But again, Track 1099, I recommend it. Get out your W-9s right away so that you can be prepared to file 1099s, which will need to be filed within the window of January. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good winter.